Hello everyone, this is Ina Coveney, your salary replacement expert, and I wanted to talk to you about the three next steps in your business to make sure that it launches and that it does beautifully. I'm not sure exactly, I'm just gonna talk about it. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna tackle this because everybody's in a different stage in their business and your options are different depending on where you are. So I'll give you a little bit of food for thought for everyone, and also I'm gonna tell you what the next three steps are for me for the global phenomenon. So you guys can see that this is real. You don't stop feeling afraid and you don't all of a sudden become a completely different person when you start a business. You will continue to have your next three steps, and one of them is going to be the scariest thing you've ever done. So I wanted to share a little bit with you what that is for me, what that looks like for me. I've been doing this for a while. I'm not a shy person. I don't shy away from risk and from creative inspiration, and I'm always doing something. So I want to let you know that I'm not fearless by any means. Like, I got my fears and I'm gonna share them with you. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about, because in the last episode, on episode 97, I told you a little bit about that. I left you with, listen, you need to come up with your next three steps, and some of them are going to be scary. So, but you gotta know what those next three steps are. So I'm like, okay, what better segue than to tell you what those three steps are? So why don't we start with, what if you are just thinking that you might want to start a business? Okay, so let's divide it up into stages. Okay, stage one is you want to start. Okay. So let's call them the dabblers, okay? Dabblers are my people who have just figured out that they could start a business if they wanted to, and they may be able to replace their salary, although they don't really believe that yet. They believe that it might be possible, that it could be a possibility. So those are the dabblers. Those are people who are not invested into their ideas yet, who are not about to quit their job yet. They're just looking into it. So they dabble into different things. They may pick up an idea today and then drop it, and then pick up another idea tomorrow and then drop it. And then the third day, they're going to pick up another idea and stick with it for a couple of days and then drop it again, right? Those are my dabblers. Those are the ones that are still figuring it out. I'm going to tell you what your next three steps are. Next, let's talk to you guys who have decided that, yeah, you're going to start a business. You may even have a couple of ideas. Let's say you have like 3 ideas or 4 ideas, or your ideas are constantly changing. I'm going to tell you what your next 3 steps are going to be, okay? And then finally, we have my go-getters, my A-listers, my people who are ready for this, who know they want to do this, who are determined to getting this done this year, and who are determined to quitting their job within the next year. Like, this is happening. This is imminent. They just don't really know where to start, right? Or they have already started and they're just not sure where to go from here, or if they're focusing on the right things. So why don't we start with my dabblers? All right. You guys, I love you guys because I was you for a good, solid 10 years before I started anything in my business. I started so many blogs. And I thought that I would go viral, like people would just love me because I'm me and follow my blog. That never happened. Nobody ever found my blog. My blog is still out there. I got really personal in that blog. Nobody ever found it. I never knew anything about marketing. I didn't know about monetizing it. I think at some point I added some like click ads, right? Like buy chocolates. That have nothing to do with what I was doing. There was no rhyme or reason for it. It was just a personal blog. But I thought somehow that was my ticket out, right? Those are my dabblers, the ones that are looking for the best idea that is going to turn them viral and is going to make them, it's going to be really obvious when it happens because it's going to grow on its own and you're going to have no choice but to go with it, and then life is going to be wonderful. That's kind of like the mentality of a dabbler. So here's what I would say your first 3 steps are. Step number 1, you need to find out or to research a little bit on what the entrepreneurial mindset is. So I want you to look back on episodes where I have talked about entrepreneurial mindset, okay? Wherever you see one of my episodes on this podcast that I talk about money mindset or getting out of your own way, or how to think like an entrepreneur, or how to make sure that your idea is going to succeed. All of those are code for you gotta change your mindset. You got to stop thinking that something is going to magically materialize, that something is going to magically grow, and then you're going to put money and resources into it, right? So your step number one is to listen to every episode I have on mindset, on how entrepreneurs actually succeed, on what they think about, how they act, what they invest in, how much they spend investing in things, what they learn about, how do they learn, where do they learn these things from, right? So your step one is just that. Is just consume mindset food so that you can start to realize that the mentality that you have right now of picking something up and then waiting for it to go viral, but then it doesn't, and then picking something else up and then feeling like, okay, this is it, but I don't really have time for it. You're going to realize all that stuff is going to come together after you learn a little bit about mindset. And you're going to realize that the only idea that is ever going to grow is the one that you actually put all your thoughts and money and time into. That's the idea. Step one, learn about the entrepreneurial mindset. Step two, start to take some actions for your ideas. So instead of just keeping a list of your ideas on a document or letting them evolve in your head, it's time for you to actually start to take some action. So if you've already started a blog and you've learned about mindset, start to figure out, is this blog really what I really want to do? Is this where I want to spend all of my time and money and resources on this blog? Because your step number two is going to be to really start narrowing down what it is that you want to do. So how do you narrow that down? Very easy. You don't even have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to narrow this down. Make a decision. Make a decision today that this is going to be your idea for the next 5 years. By the way, nothing is for 5 years. Things change very quickly and ideas evolve very fast. But say that for the next year, you're going to focus on this idea. Just make the decision and then wait a week. Just wait. If in a week you still haven't done anything about that idea, I would encourage you to question whether this is really the right idea for you. Because when the right idea is in front of you, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to be able to help yourself from taking action. You can't. You will stay up until 3 a.m. that day that you made the decision, making a website. Or that was my go-to, making a website. Or writing down a lesson plan. Or figuring out what books you need to be reading in order to learn more about this. Or trying to research where you can get a certification for that particular discipline. Or looking up colleges where you can take more classes about it. That's what happens when you're truly inspired. So if your idea doesn't inspire you into action, probably wasn't the right idea to begin with. So step one, for my dabblers, step one, consume mindset content. Follow mindset people. Listen to the past podcast episodes of this podcast, and educate yourself on the entrepreneurial mindset and what it really takes and how successful entrepreneurs make it. That's your step one. Your step two is start to narrow it down by simply making a decision and waiting a week. If you find yourself springing into action, there's something to this. Keep that going. Keep that inspiration going. And your third step, you're probably going to come up with it on your own. But maybe it is to create a Facebook page where you can start spreading your message. Maybe it's to set up a MailChimp mailing list so you can start collecting potential clients. Maybe it is creating a website, whatever it is. But there is one of these steps that is going to be the scariest one and the one that you're going to shy away from the most, right? I just want you to know that all you have to do is just write it down. And just remember that you have to do it. But as long as you're taking inspired action on everything else that is coming to mind, you're in a good spot. Never stop. When you have an action in front of you, or a step that you need to take, and fear is overtaking you, and you become paralyzed and you end up not doing anything, that's not good. That doesn't help anyone. I prefer 1,000,000 times to have a task that is scary and just have it stare at me in the face and me not wanting to do it. I prefer that and continuing to take action on the inspired things that I want to do than doing nothing at all. You see the difference? Having a task that is so unsurmountable that it paralyzes you versus knowing that that task is there, knowing that that wall is there, but continuing to walk around the wall, right? Like walk alongside the wall by taking other actions, right? Maybe I should be creating a website right now, but because I'm scared of it, because I'm so scared of it not being perfect, I've been putting it aside and I've been working on what my programs for the global phenomenon are going to be. That's inspired action. I didn't just stop. I didn't just become paralyzed for an entire week saying, well, I guess I can't move a finger until my website is up and live. No, I don't want to make the website right now, so I'm just going to keep creating other things. That's how you continue to take action. So those are my dabblers. I love you guys. I know you're going to make it there. You are not going to stay a dabbler forever. So take care of those 3 items. You're going to be golden. You're going to be on the next stage really, really soon. Because the next stage is my people who have made the decision but are not 100% bought into it yet, right? These are my people who have ideas. They've already listed them and they're narrowing it down, and they know that they want to quit their job and they know they want to do something. They still don't know exactly what that thing is going to be, but they have ideas already, right? They have ideas. They just don't really know how to narrow it down. I'm going to give you a free secret right now. And I'm sorry, it only applies to people who listen to this from now, June 1st, 2020 until June 15th, 2020. So listen up, because it's an opportunity that's only good for you guys. If you have multiple ideas and you're just struggling trying to decide which one to go with, I have a free gift for you. It's my workshop called Choose Your Perfect Business Idea. It is an amazing workshop, if I may say so myself. Everybody that I taught it live, so it's recorded live, and you get the slides and you get the recording and you get the exercises that everybody in the room is going with, right? And by the end, you are going to be able to narrow down your idea to at least a couple that are doable, that you can see, and then be able to make a decision based on them. So I want to give you that gift. My workshop, Choose Your Perfect Business Idea. I want to give that to you. So all it takes is for you to acknowledge that you want to quit your job, that you don't want to stay at that job forever, and that you want to take action, that you see yourself doing something much bigger than what your job is doing for you right now. If you are that person, because I'm sorry, this gift doesn't apply to anybody else who doesn't fall in that category. If you are that person, I have a gift for you. It is that workshop, and all you have to do is fill out a quick survey for me. The survey, it can be found at theglobalphenomenon.com/survey. Anybody who fills out that survey is going to walk away with my Choose Your Perfect Business Idea workshop, which I think is going to be an amazing first step for you, because it's a great workshop and it's going to help you narrow it down. Period. I dispel every myth you have in your head about your ideas, and I get you started right there. So if you want to take me up on it, that's what you do. That's your step 1. Fill out that survey at theglobalphenomenon.com/survey. Fill it out. And when you do, you're going to be put on a list, because on June 15th, which is our party, our 100th episode party, you are going to get that free gift. What it also does is that it enters you into a raffle. I am raffling out one of those big professional ring lights, like, the lights that look like a ring, so that you can record professional photos, professional videos. And I can't wait to raffle that out. I am super excited about it. So go and fill it out. You'll be entered into the raffle, and the raffle will happen live in the Facebook group on June 15th, and it's going to go out on the podcast, on the 100th episode of the podcast, as a party and as a gift to you and as a thank you for listening and for doing this. Another thing that you can do is you can get a shout out in the 100th episode if you're already starting to think about your business idea, or if you found anything that you've listened to in this podcast inspiring. You can come to the Facebook group, use a hashtag 100, ONE 100. Tell me your story of inspiration, and I'll give you a shout out in the 100th episode. You don't get the prizes. That's only for the survey takers, but I would love to hear from you and to know that I've actually helped you throughout these 2 years of this brand, that this brand has been alive. So share it. Say it out loud. Share what good has come from you listening to this podcast. Tell me your story. You can either send it to me personally over Facebook, or you can go to the Facebook group and post it with the hashtag, but I want to hear from you. So anyway, that's part of the party too. But if you want to get that gift, fill out the survey, theglobalphenomenon.com/survey. So that's your step 1, to figure out your idea, and there's a free gift for you to go and do it. How wonderful is that? I just gave it to you. Number 1. Your second step is going to be to start creating an online presence. And I know that you haven't really figured it out yet, that you may change your mind about your idea, right? But I'm going to tell you something. What builds up your confidence as a business owner, as a future business owner, as someone who puts themselves out there, what builds your confidence is not just thinking about it a lot and then deciding to do it one day. What builds your confidence is taking action right away. So if you've decided, if you narrowed it down and you said, I think I want to be a health coach. I'm not sure for who yet. I don't know who my target audience is going to be yet, but I know that I want to be in health. Create a Facebook page and just start trickling your message. A good example of this is what I'm doing on the Global Phenomenon right now. You can go to the Instagram account at the.global.phenomenon, and you can see how I am sprinkling my message out there. I'm just sprinkling it out. I'm not doing anything huge. I'm just basically saying, hey, you guys, this is what we stand for in the Global Phenomenon, and I'm hoping that if people like it, they will start to follow it. But it's giving me the confidence of standing up out there and saying, this is what I'm about. So it's time for you to start to generate that little bit of audience and get rid of the jitters of putting yourself out there. So if you want to be a health coach, create yourself a Facebook page. And even if you have 0 followers, just start posting there. Start posting what you think is important. Start posting articles. So become that business owner who shares valuable information. Right now, you don't have any clients. You don't have any audience. What do you have to lose, right? So go out and post about it. Your third action is going to be to engage with people who find you through that Facebook page. Now, this takes time. I want you to understand that it's not like you can create a Facebook page and start spreading your message and a week later you have clients. It doesn't happen that fast. Sometimes it feels like because a task was so big and so hard to do, like putting yourself out there, because that was so difficult to do, you feel like, oh my God, now the world is going to find out about me and they're gonna see what I'm doing, and that's so scary. And then what if people want to work with me? I don't even have a program. I'm not comfortable doing this. You guys, it happens so slowly that all those fears are unfounded. It happens really slowly. So you start putting your message out there and people start to listen to it. And when people start to engage with you, that's your third task. And it's going to happen much later, which is to start engaging with people back. And it's just starting to get to know their stories and starting basically like to do an informal market research, just to get to know people. If your message is resonating with them, why is it resonating with them? What issues are they having? And then you start to create a certain idea for, wow, I feel like I could help people. So those are your first 3 steps. One of them is going to be really, really scary to do. And if you want, you can procrastinate from doing that task all you want, but you know that it's there. Just don't let it stop you. Things in business are not sequential, okay? It's not you have to get that page done before you can do anything else. Keep working on other things, but never stop. Just keep working on something, okay? And finally, my go-getters. You guys have already probably created a website. You went on Squarespace and you created your own site because you're a badass, because nothing is going to stop you, right? So what is it that you need? What are your next 3 steps? You guys are the ones that I want you to stay tuned, because I have a program called Be Found. And here she goes now to tell us about her program. Yes, I am. Because I have seen people go through that program and experience so much growth just through the coaching alone, just through somebody who's been there explaining to you how to set up an offer and how much you're going to charge for it and what your brand should be and how to take professional photos and creating your website. That's what the Be Found program does. It turns you from somebody who is ready but things are just kind of not set up, to somebody who becomes a full-blown business owner, who has done their market research, who knows what they're offering, and who has their website up and running and ready. This program, the Be Found program, is launching again towards the end of the year, and it's welcoming the next class in January. So if you are at that stage where like, okay, I could probably use that time, the next 6 months, to really figure out what it is that I really want to do, I want you to stay tuned for the Be Found program because I think it would be perfect for you. So I have seen people go through it, and I would be remiss if I didn't help you by telling you that it exists. So what you want to do for my go-getters is start to get clients. That's going to be your task. Task number 1 is just wait for the Be Found program to come around because I think it's perfect for you. Task number 2 is going to be to start to get clients. And you may wonder like, well, how do I get clients? I have podcast episodes for that too. And I have YouTube videos for that too. So go through my list and I'll tell you this is how you get clients. These are your first steps to get a client. This is how you get your first client. All those episodes are there for you to watch them and listen to it. But I'm just going to tell you a quick shortcut right now. A client can be somebody who just you do work for free. So when you first start, like when I first started with my business, with my website making business back in 2011, my first client was a free client. I just went down to the local diner. I told them, I noticed you don't have a website. I love your fresh squeezed orange juice. I'll make your website for free. They said, okay. I created the website. There was absolutely no pressure, right? Because they're not paying me. So I created their website. They loved it. It was wonderful. And then I started to get referrals. And those are the clients that I got paid from. But now I had the confidence that I could build a website, that it could be beautiful, and I had something for my portfolio. So now I knew, okay, how much should I charge for this? You're in a much better position at that point than trying to charge for something you've never charged for before because your brain has never seen money for that thing before. So it's a lot easier when you start to take action. You start to take people through your process, even if it's for free. I do recommend that when you do that for free, it is a limited engagement and it's very, very clear what people are going to get out of it. Okay, so make sure that you do like a 4-week engagement or a 6-week engagement. Make sure they're all bought in so that they're doing their homework, right? And you get some practice, you get some experience, you help someone out, and boom, you have yourself your first client. The next client is going to be much easier to get now that you have that testimonial and you've built your confidence. So for my go-getters out there, Be Found program is coming in January, and I hope to see you in it. Number 2, get yourself a client, even if it's for free. Step number 3 is whatever you want it to be. You're already out there. You're already putting your message out there. So what do you think is your next step? Make it an easy one. Make it one that you would love to do. Make it one that scratches that itch in your brain, right? That gets your creative juices flowing. Make it something fun. Because if the only things you have to do is get a client, so hard, so difficult, freak out, or wait for my program, which doesn't launch for another 6 months, then you gotta have something else that allows you to walk around the wall. Remember the wall, right? That big insurmountable task that is preventing you from doing everything else, right? You don't have to just climb over that wall. Climbing that wall is it's not easy. So you should not just put that as the obstacle between you and success or you or your next step. Keep working on your steps by walking around the wall. Just never stop walking. Even if you're walking around the wall, and eventually you're going to find the door through the wall. Okay? So whatever it is that you want to do, start doing it. So I'm going to tell you what my next 3 steps are for the global phenomenon and the one that I'm super scared of. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. It just happens to be my wall. It's the one that I'm walking around. So step 1 is... step 1 is to set up interviews. So the global phenomenon is going to be dual format. Some episodes are going to be, actually, I haven't really figured that out yet, so I don't know why I'm saying that with such property, with such authority. Most likely it's going to be mostly an interview program, because I want you guys to learn from women out there, from people out there who are global phenomenons. I want you to learn from them. I want them to tell you that it's okay to lean in and do everything that you desire, and it's okay to want success, right? I want you to hear from successful people. So I need to continue lining up those interviews. So far, I have a few in the bank. I have a few coming up that I'm very excited about. So keep doing those interviews. That is the easy part. That is my walking around the wall. I can do that all day long. Step 2, I need to finish building my website. Now, this is something that I have a certain urgency to do, because the people that I'm asking to be interviewed by me, they need to see something. These are big people. They need to see that I'm legit, that I'm not just like a high school student doing a podcasting project. They need to see that this is serious. So this is a pretty big one for me. My third step is doing the marketing for the global phenomenon. I have 6 months until my next big launch, which is the Be Found program. And I need to figure out how I'm going to market it, because part of marketing is actually doing market research. I need to find out who are my people out there who want much more for their life than just salary replacement. Who are you and what do you want? And I want to get together with you, and I want to learn from you, and I want to know more about it. So the best way for you to manifest yourself into this is to fill out that same survey that I offered my people in stage 2. Right? Which is theglobalphenomenon.com/survey. Fill that out, because that tells me that you are one of my global phenomenon ideal clients, ideal audience members, and I want to hear from you. I want to know what your fears are, and I want to know what you want to learn about. So doing that market research is going to be really important. And I know better than anybody, because I teach this stuff, the market research is not just about filling out a survey. I know that market research is about having a conversation. So first I need to identify who you guys are so that we can start having those conversations. So I encourage you to fill that out, theglobalphenomenon.com/survey. You will get a gift. You will be entered into a raffle, and it helps me say hello to you and be like, hi, there's this new thing coming up. I want to know more about what you have to say. So fill out that survey. That will be really, really helpful. So so for me, which one is the easy one to do? Well, the easy things for me to do are to get interviews, to sit down and write proposals for interviews and reach out to people and create a list for it. Also, another easy thing for me to do is to think about how my programs are going to change, and all the stuff that is super creative. My wall right now is the website, because I am so excited about this initiative that I want to make sure that the message is correct, that the message is right, that as soon as you land on the page is exactly what I want to say in exactly the way I want to say it, and that it's going to attract the exactly right people. I mean, I teach the stuff, so I put a lot of pressure on myself to make it perfect, and nothing is ever going to be perfect. I need to go out with it and trust that it is going to continue to evolve. So I have those fears too. I just can't let them paralyze me. So whenever I get a chance, I just open up the website and I create one more section of the page, just one more section of the page. And little by little, I'm chipping at it and carving it out. But in reality, we all have those things. We all have those walls. It's a matter of continuing to walk around the wall despite the fact that the wall is there. So what is that wall for you? You have to say it out loud and tell me, commit to yourself, commit to saying that wall is not going to stop you. That those steps that you're taking around the wall represent an action that you're taking about your business. And it may not be a big action. It may just be brainstorming. But you're going to get there little by little. You're looking for a door around that wall. Okay? Never stop. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let a week go by when you don't chip at your business a little bit more. Okay? Chip and chip and chip. You're going to make it really, really fast when you take action. You're going to stay stagnant when you don't. So I really hope that this episode has been helpful, and it's always better to say it than to think it. So if you like this episode, go and write a review on iTunes. Come to the Facebook group and tell us what you got out of it. I would love to hear from you. Okay. This is the end of the episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side of the credits for some information about how my business is taking a stance for the Black Lives Matter movement, and how I believe that everybody should educate themselves on this and take a stand as well. So I'll see you on the other side. Thank you guys so much for being here. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hey there! Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you just saw and you want more of that, subscribe to the channel right here. Also, here's another video that I think you should watch. And one more thing, did you know that there is a podcast? Just search for it, Trailblazing Out of Corporate Life with Ina Coveney, but you have to spell Coveney right. It ends in E-Y. I'll see you there.